Netflix?
No!
Is it HBO?
No!
Is it Disney?
No!
Is it Apple TV?
No!
Then it must be Tubi. Tell them they're streaming.
Welcome to Tell Them They're Streaming. Hey, my name is Robert, and sitting beside me is Australian comedian who just put out his own wine. It's a humorous little number with a sweet aftertaste. This is Richie the Plonk Goodacre. Hey, Richie.
The plonk.
The
No,
Plonk.
Don't know if that has a ring to it. Yeah, I think. Yeah,
What
I don't know
is-
if I don't know if that strikes fear into my opponent. The plonk.
Yeah, it could be a finishing move. The Plonk.
It's
Hey,
plonk.
what is
Yeah.
what is your new wine called?
Uh, Sauvignon Plonk. I don't know.
Tell them they're creaming soda.
Tell
Oh,
them that's great.
God. Richie, how's your week been?
It was all right up to that joke. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, pretty good. Didn't do a lot, which is always all right. I don't know. Sometimes sometimes not a lot is good. In my word, but I don't know. Look, so a lot of the time I have like stuff prepared. Oh, I did this. Oh, I did a lot of cool stuff. I do. Sometimes I need to just relax the old just relax my genius for a bit, and sometimes you want to relax your genius and then turn your brain off and watch Shaun the Sheep.
Coolio. That sounds like a thing you can do.
Yeah.
Shaun the Sheep. Oh, that means I've got to put a picture up of Shaun the Sheep now. Thank you.
Hell yeah! Oh, it's not that bad. What a cute fella. And in terms
Well,
of sheep, he's the cutest. They go Shaun the Sheep, and then Dolly the sheep, and then
Sheepy McSheepface.
other ones. Black Sheep, or that horror movie is kind of they're meant to be ugly. So yeah.
What about Attack of the Sheep People?
Yeah, the Attack of the Sheep People. I believe they're called New Zealanders. All right, that's very
Oh, your mum's a
you know
New Zealander.
that's not what I'm yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, but I'm not the one calling them sheep people. You said sheep people. I'm just saying, hey, the
Oh,
proper
you
name
can't throw it back on me.
the proper name is New Zealanders.
Well, talking about New Zealanders, this week we're doing Attack of the Mushroom People from 1963. Matango is the Japanese name for it. Tubi has after a yacht is damaged in a storm. It borders stranded on a desert island, take refuge in a mysterious fungi-covered boat. With nothing else to eat, some members of the shipwreck party begin to ingest mysterious mushrooms, transforming them into hideous monsters. IMDb has a group of pleasure-seeking young people are stranded on a mysterious island. When their boat crashes, one by one, they succumb to the lure of the deadly mushroom.
I take umbrage with that IMDb just because I think most of them were youngish. There's a couple that were definitely in their 50s. Anyway,
There was the professor and his wife. No, anyway, the film was. Did you know this, Richie? The film was nearly banned in Japan due to the fact that the makeup that some of the characters wore as they were turning into humanoid mushroom creatures was very reminiscent of how Japanese people looked after the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So yeah, the film was almost banned just for the makeup alone.
man, it's yeah. I get it, and that there has been silly reasons for a ban, so I get it. But yeah, you don't want to bring up, you know, you don't want to open new wounds. It's probably not the best. That's probably not the
Hmm.
Probably open our wounds, but that's probably not the best choice of words, but you know what I meant.
Yeah, I think you might have bombed with that comment.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
Anyway, let's move on quickly before anyone notices what we were just doing. Steven Soderbergh, he wanted to remake this film so badly. It since it had frightened him as a child. Unfortunately, he couldn't reach a deal with Toho. But anyway, things are still going with Steven, and Toho is still a faction, still a film company. So you never know.
You,
We still
you
might
never
get to
know.
see.
Look, I know, kids were frightened of different things, but this movie's not scary at all. What a pussy. No, not just kidding.
Really? I was
No,
scared.
I don't know. It was fine. I didn't mind it, but I don't know. I don't know how, I guess, I don't know. I get, people get scared at different things, I suppose.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're scared of clowns, so
Thanks
which
for
is
bringing
really
that
hard
up.
being a comedian and working in a comedy world, and you're scared of
Well,
something that's supposed to
I
make
don't,
you laugh.
I don't run into clowns all the time, though.
No, I
I
know, but clown's
don't,
supposed to make you laugh, and comedian's supposed to make you laugh.
the only way I sort of run into clowns is if I booked one for a children's party or a gate crash at children's party, which they don't really get looked at on your phone if you try to gate crash a children's party. Even if you do want the fairy bread and you know, you're just there for the jumping castle.
And fairy bread, for people that do not know, out of a country of Australia, fairy bread is a piece of bread with margarine or butter on it, and then sprinkled with what we call hundreds and thousands, but I think in America they're called sprinkles. I think. Anyway,
That's what.
direct. Oh, sorry.
Yep. I just think that's one of those rare ones where sprinkles probably makes more sense. But anyway, like usually Americans call something like, yeah, that's you know oh, we over here we over there we call them diddle 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 da da. Like, oh, okay, over here we call them a more appropriate name, but sprinkles is better. That was more appropriate.
Hmm. Director Honda was inspired by a story in the Japanese newspaper headline uh, concerning thrill seeker rich kids who took their father's yacht out to sea and had to be rescued. Honda said, around this time, there were people who started to be Americanized or have a modern lifestyle. There were rich kids who sent their kids, sorry, there were rich people who sent their kids to school in foreign cars, that kind of thing. We tried to show that social background in this film. It is based on a short story called The Voice in the Night from 1907 from William Hope Hodgins. Guillermo del Toro named this film as one of his personal favorite monster films.
Okay.
That's a pretty big, cool thing to have.
Yeah.
It's also based on a short story called Fungus Isle, which I guess is Fungus Island, from 1922 from a bloke called Philip M. Fisher Jr. Critic Bill Cook noted in Video Watchdog that Matango defies easy classification, as film belongs to either the Kaiju, which is monster, or Kaidan, which is ghosts, genre of that era. Apparently, Honda took the project seriously, telling actors before production that the film was a serious drama picture. So please keep in mind and work accordingly. Matango was Honda's first film to use an Oxbury optical printer, which Toho purchased from the United States to allow for better image composing. I know this is all nerd stuff, but I was fascinated by it. The printer allowed the ability to superimpose up to 5 composite shots, allowing the crew to avoid costly hand-painted mats and glass shots. The mushrooms that the characters would eat were created by special effects crew from rice paddies. The rice paddies would be picked up from a nearby shop that specialized in it and taken to the studio where it was shaped and cooked. Because Kumi Michinono was so well liked, they would add sugar and other flavors into her mushrooms.
Oh, cool. That's like you get so you get a sugar high and a mushroom high at the same time.
Yes.
Mm.
Matango was Honda's first science fiction film not to receive a theatrical release in the United States. I
What do they have against mushroom people?
don't know. Don't know. I know they're kept in
Oh,
the dark.
by the way, mushroom. I've thought about this. Mushroom people sounds like what I reckon. Like the Koopas in Mario World call the Toads. You know, these mushroom people come over here, steal our good old Koopa jobs. Bloody mushroom people.
Mushroom people. Media Blasters issued Matango on DVD in the United States on March 15, 2005. It featured a generous selection of extras, including commentary by the film's male lead, Kabu, and production sketches and interview with special effects and other features. I want to get this DVD so badly. I've tried to look for it. I haven't found it yet. If anyone knows how or where I can get it, please write to us. Tell them they're streaming at gmail.com.
.au. Is it .au or just .com? I
No, it's
should
just
know my own thing.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
.com.
Okay,
Because
cool. I'm learning things too about my own podcast. That's cool.
I totally want to get my hands on this DVD.
Yeah, I just I mean I decided to do some legwork too, and I did some research. But I watched some reviews. There was one like someone review about the monster or whatever, and this guy, I can't remember his name. He criticized the monster and he called it dull and rubbery. I feel like that's less of something what you describe a monster and more what like I don't know like Gordon Ramsay would criticize someone on Hell's Kitchen if they screw up a steak. You know what I mean?
You're gonna say if they weren't wearing a condom.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes. If they were, yeah, because apparently Gordon Ramsay, the spin-off now, he reviews people having sex as well.
Yes.
It's weird.
Oh, that's dull and rubbery.
Yeah, it's dull.
Can you imagine if he's a porno director?
It's it's bloody raw, dog. Eh.
Tim Lucas of Sight and Sound, the English subtitles access adult dimensions or open dimensions of the story that were never apparent in the old television prints. And this is why I want the DVD, because I think they got the proper subtitled version. In his book, Monsters Are Attacking Tokyo, Galbraith later compared the English version with the Japanese original, giving the English version 2.5 out of 5 and the Japanese original 3.5 stars, respectively. So you could, once again, it's just pushing the point home that if we get to see the original Japanese version, it is better than the American television version, what we watched.
Well, it is jarring when you see, like you mean, because they didn't even get like, it's one thing to have an English dub, and then to, and then there's another thing to have an English dub, and then just have Americans or people doing British, like British accents. Where I'm like, even if this person could take it, I'd like to think even if this person could talk English, it wouldn't talk like that. So it'd be cool, but it would have been cool if they got like, a Japanese person who spoke English to do the dub, because it's just weird, like the voice doesn't match what they would sound like, kind of thing, right? Yeah, like I don't know, like it's just like very like you think of something one way and there's a very posh accent comes out of them.
We're saying that I thought the dub was actually quite well done. I mean, they did use all the proper Japanese names throughout the dub, which is quite often I'll watch a dub of an Asian film and you've got, all right, now Steve is going to fight Butch. They're not Japanese names.
Yeah, yeah, I did like that, and the dubbing wasn't that bad. It's just maybe it sticks to my craw a little bit. That just if it's you're doing an English Japanese dub, get a Japanese person.
Excellent point. Honda reflected. No worries. Anytime, mate. Honda reflected on Matango, of course. I keep on calling it that. That's the Japanese word, the Japanese name of the movie, which we call Attack of the Mushroom People. Decades after...
Matango is the name of the ship, right? Isn't it?
No, Matango is the name of the mushroom, I think.
The mushroom. Oh, the mushroom. Okay, that's right.
Yeah. Decades after its initial release, stating that it was a comment on the rebel era, in which people were becoming addicted to drugs. Once you get addicted, it's a hopeless situation, he added. That no matter how good friends people are, even if they are the very best of friends, under certain conditions, things can get very ugly.
I understand his point, but maybe using mushrooms isn't the greatest thing to exhibit your point, considering mushrooms are considered largely, they're hallucinogens, but like they're more a party, in terms of other drugs, they're largely compared to other drugs, they're largely harmless. They're just fun.
What were they in the 1960s though? I know there's always been hallucinatory mushrooms, but were they as well known then, and were people taking them as to get high on them, or is that a more recent phenomenon?
That could be a more recent phenomenon. Like maybe this movie accidentally sparked that
Oh, okay.
that word. So,
A bit like
yeah.
Birth of the Nation with the Ku Klux Klan, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
Um, okay. Have you got any information you want to tell before I go into the cast and crew and director?
Well, yeah, like obviously this is the director. I have his name up here, but I thought should have a
Ishiro
photo.
Honda.
Yeah, Ishiro Honda. He is also well known, for directing the original Godzilla films, and he directed about eight, and he was going to, after the eighth one, he was going to hang it up and retire. And he's good friends with famous movie director Akira Kurosawa, and convinced him to sort of be his sort of right hand man, be like what do they call it, like the first unit director or whatever.
Yeah.
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 So. Yeah,
Or
kind of,
AD, assistant director.
assistant director. So yeah, like he worked on things like Ran and a few other things. So yeah. So and I thought that was pretty cool. Like because usually when we review these things, like they're sort of lesser known directors that didn't do huge things of note, but like this, guy's pretty prolific. So
Yeah, this director's a Godzilla
Mhm.
in some people's
Mhm.
minds, and in my mind, because I'm a
Mhm.
massive fan of the old Godzilla films, the old proper
Yeah.
Japanese ones. And uh, Ishihiro Honda is the director, as we've just been talking about. And as Richie said, he did Godzilla from 1954. The writer, there's a few writers. The writers are Takeshi Kumura, who did The Mysterians from 1957. Shin Ikichi Hoshi, who did Mysterious Medicine in 1965. I'm doing all the English titles here. Masami Fukunashimi did Terror Beach, The Sea in 1966.
That
Seiko,
feels like that title feels like another Tubi thing. Terror Beach, the Sea.
I know, but I reckon it'll be good.
Yeah.
Seiko Komanetsko, he did Submission of, Submersion of Japan, 1973, which is also a famous book. And pre-mentioned William Hope Hodgson, and you can find some of his work in Ghost Finder from 2020. The cast, and a few of these casts worked with Akira Kurosawa as well, like our first person, which is Akira Kubo, who was in the very first Akira Kurosawa film, which is Sanjuro from 1962. Kumi Mitsumono was in Godzilla, Invasion of the Astro Monster from 1965. Harishi Kozumi was in Mothra, 1961. Kenji Sarahara was in King Kong versus Godzilla, 1963. And Yoshi Toshakiya was in Seven Samurai, 1954. Another, of course, Akira Kurosawa film. Well, it's now time for film chat.
Film chat.
We start off in Tokyo City with Kenji Muriel, which played by Akira Kubo, in a psychiatric hospital, talking about why he is there.
This is the psychiatric ward. Yes, I know that. And you think that I'm insane, don't you? All of my friends died. Every one of them. No, I'm the one who died. It's true. They're alive. Then you want to know why they didn't return, don't you? I don't want to tell you the story. It will only convince you that I really am insane.
We now follow the story. Kenji and his friends are on a yacht. There is a shipmate assistant, who is Senzio. There's a writer, Asterio, a celebrity, Masafumi, professional singer, Mamumi, student, Akiko, and the yacht skipper is Nayayaki. With Miki feeling like she is not fitting in, Kenji sees if she is okay. The storm is brewing. All hands on deck. Kenji's Morse.
Sorry.
You all right?
I was just going to say, like, obviously you said I should have tried to. Yeah, we said one of them's a writer. There was one time where I guess, like, one of the chicks is bored, so that he's giving him shit, and then but his papers, one of his papers just falls into the ocean. He's very nonplussed about it. Like, if you're writing a book, and some of your work just fell into the sea, wouldn't you'd be a bit raging,
You think
like
so?
imagine if they totally missed that and still got published. You're like, oh, that's weird. On one page, this character was single, and then on the next page he had 4 kids. That's weird.
Well, maybe he had 4 candles. Anyway, Kenji Morse codes for help, but the machine blows up. Special effects are pretty good in this film, Richie, for its time.
For 1963, I thought so. Yeah.
Even though sometimes you could tell the ship is a model, but I thought it was all pretty good. Sorry, Richie, go.
Yeah, I didn't feel like this. I forgot when I was watching this movie, I didn't feel. I forget this movie is in the 1960s. I felt like it felt like a movie that was a bit newer than that. So yeah, it felt ahead of its time in a lot of ways. I thought like there was a lot of good special effects, even despite the controversy with the makeup with the monsters that we'll get to. I thought they looked pretty cool as well. So,
the makeup was great.
Yeah.
And like if you consider like from Godzilla, where it's very hard in that era to make a realistic looking monster, even though I think it's realistic. To when you just do makeup on a human being, it's a real difference in special effect, and in this case, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
The yacht and sails are destroyed in the storm, so now they can only hope for a search party. Look, I really like this scene, and I don't know if I'm using the right term here, but there was a scene where this ghost ship was coming towards them, and there was that bloke that was just sitting there looking at it coming and about to hit, and then it sort of cuts to him screaming, and it cuts to the others coming to see if he's all right. But I thought that was super cool.
Yeah. Was it at this point where like they tried to reach someone on or that they wanted to listen to the news on the radio, or tried to reach someone on the radio? Or was that a bit further forward?
that's at this time. I think it was a bit before that, where one of the young ladies was listening to music on the radio, and the captain comes in and says, "What are you doing? We got to listen to news." And then they actually switched over to the news, and they heard the radio telling, or the news saying, that a ship has gone, or a yacht has gone missing.
Yeah, capsized. But yeah, it was weird because they're like, all right, oh, right, no, that they were like, don't stop listening to music. We got to preserve the batteries. And then then they listen to the news. Then they listen to that one story. It's like, oh, we'll have more news in a moment. And then the guy just goes, oh, well, the battery's dead now. I'm like, really? Okay, that's convenient. They just cut off right there.
I call that lucky.
Yeah.
They drift towards an island. They go looking for food. In their search, they find water and an abandoned ship on the shoreline. The men go and look inside the ship, fungus is everywhere over the ship. They find a big mushroom in a box, or an O box, as I've written. But anyway, in
An O box.
an O box or a big box with the word Matango on it. They believe that that is the name of the rare mushroom. It might be the name of the ship, like you mentioned earlier on, Richie, but the people there believe it's the name of the rare mushroom.
Yeah.
Mimi and Akiro realize that all the mirrors have been taken down. They look for a logbook in an overgrown fungus captain's cabin, and they find one. The vessel was involved in nuclear research. That's what the logbook said. Interested to know if that's in the Japanese version or just the English version. They believe the mushrooms are dangerous to eat as well. While hunting for food, they find the broken mirror in a far away from the ship. For the first time, we spot a mushroom person. Well, we think we do. What did you think of the first spotting of the mushroom people, Richie, or person?
Yeah, I thought it was yeah. I mean, look, I don't want to use the word scary because I don't want to contradict myself that it's not scary, but but yeah, I thought it was like unique. I thought the way it sort of, yeah, it kind of looked, yeah, I don't know,
Well, I challenge you that you did not get scared when the mushroom person looked through the window while the women were trying to sleep. That didn't scare you?
I mean, it was creepy. It was creepy, and look, I'd
Creepy
be
and
scared.
scary are cousins.
They're the cousins, but they're not. They're second cousins. They don't see each other that often. Uh, but like, yeah. I mean, I would be freaked out if it happened to me. But look, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It was. Look, I mean, I thought the creature was looked kind of cool and supposed to scary. But yeah, look, it would be. It would be it'd be scary to have to me, but not only is this thing that I never knew existed beforehand, you know now staring at me, it's also a perv. That is the mushroom perv.
Well, a mushroom person attacked one of the crew and scared myself, everybody else on the ship, and everybody else across the world except for Richie. Yoshi, sorry.
I'm a tough boy.
You're tough as a $2 steak, as the great JR would say.
Yeah.
Yoshidi with the gun is going to look for the creature, what they saw the night before. Though some think they might be human.
Dun, dun, dun.
Richie, this is where tensions start to get a little bit heated between the crew.
Yeah.
We suspect that one of the crew ate mushrooms, which he did, and he threatens to kill everyone. Not sure why, though he believes the mushrooms will strengthen all his abilities.
Like every ability. Like if he, was going, I don't know. Yeah. If he, went home and played, I mean, I know they weren't a thing back then, but if he went and played Super Nintendo, he'd be amazing at it.
Well, he'd definitely be good jumping on the mushrooms in Mario.
Yeah, he would.
Which I know is Nintendo before everyone writes in.
I wonder. I'm sure Honda, right, is a kind of a common, maybe a commonish last name in Japan. But like, I did think, there is a E Honda in Street Fighter. The developers of Street Fighter, were they a fan of his movies? They're like, Honda.
I don't know. I mean, Honda's also a car as well.
Yeah.
That's interesting, though, Richie. Maybe that's your homework for next week.
Educational.
Yoshidi and Mami turn against the others, but lose and are sent off the ship. They are now caught out in the rain, surrounded by growing mushrooms. I love this scene and I love the soundtrack. So
Yeah,
goddamn good.
soundtrack was really good. Yeah, yeah.
And just those
Yeah,
mushrooms growing up out of the ground. Once again, we've got to remember this is 63,
63. Yeah,
which came out. So it's probably filmed 62 or 61 or something or other.
yeah,
Uh, and yeah, the mushrooms just growing out of the ground, I just thought looked spectacular. And I really felt claustrophobic amongst all those mushrooms. He did such a great job.
yeah. And yeah, good job at tension because you're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? You are screwed. You're definitely screwed. Yeah, it was definitely like, yep, okay, we screwed up here, but we're done. Uh, yeah, it was definitely a movie that you felt like there wasn't going to be a happy ending, I
No,
guess.
no, not that sort of movie. Um, sorry.
Look, just because it has Japanese people in it does not mean they're gonna.
Kenji and Akiko leave to search for food. Mami has eaten mushrooms and convinces Masafumi to eat them as well. He does just that. Masafumi has this really cool, lucid visions of dancing girls while eating the mushrooms. I'm going to try to include this because I just thought this was really cool.
Yeah, it's almost like you know, almost like another trippy version of Evil Bong.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, yeah, 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 that's evil mushrooms. We've got to watch it next week. You got to watch a movie about LSD or something. Actually, we have, haven't we? We watched a psychedelic priest.
Yeah, we did. We
Man,
watched the
we've done
psychedelic priest. We're
we've done a lot
we're
of
informed.
drugs.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Maybe ecstasy, marijuana. I can't do that because I'll get in trouble for singing a song, won't I? Anyway, shout out to
yeah,
Queens of the Stone Age. Uh,
yeah,
he finds out that once you have eaten the mushroom, you become one, and you are then addicted to eating them. Bum bum ba. Is there clear magic mushroom reference here, Richie?
I think so. I maybe
We
did they know
still
about magic? Yeah,
we still don't know when magic mushrooms became a thing. I mean, they've obviously always existed, but when they became, you know, a drug of choice. So yeah, we might find that out for next week.
imagine eating a food then becoming that food. That'd be kind of weird. Like, oh no. Oh, yesterday I was a human. Now I'm a pack of Doritos.
Well, I ate kimchi tonight. What does that make me?
You're going to be kimchi next week, and I'm going to have to do you're just going to be a
I'm
piece
just
of
going to be
kimchi with
sitting here.
headphones on.
There's going to be some fermented cabbage.
Yeah.
We see Musfami try to run away. I think I've pronounced about that name as 7 different ways, but just go with me. We
One of them was
see
supposed to be one of them was surely to be correct.
we see Musfami try to run away from the mushroom people. Kenji gets on their yacht and reads this out from the wall on the yacht that the skipper wrote.
M. Kasai, K. Murai, Hi Yoshida, S. Koyama, Mei Misaki, Miss Soma. These people were cast ashore on a deserted island and died. I tried to escape and reach help, but I couldn't make it, and I died in the sea. N. Sakada, Captain.
Akiki wants to eat the mushrooms, and Kenji talks her out of it and expresses his love to her. Oh,
Cool. And so it's always in the dire circumstances where you're like, you know what? I just realized I had feelings for you. Where the movie where a plane's about to hit a building. By the way, I love you.
Well, remember we watched a film about the prehistoric bloke that came back.
The man from Earth or whatever.
Man from Earth.
Yeah,
Remember how there was a teacher and a student? Well, this is what was in this film. He was a professor and she was a student.
yeah.
Creepy, which is apparently second cousin to scary. Kenji shot a mushroom person, but there is a heap of them breaking into the ship. Kenji tries his best to fight them off. Akiri is taken by a mushroom person. Kenji looks for Akiri. He finds her, but she's already eaten the mushrooms.
No.
Kenji is being attacked by the mushroom people, but escapes. Once again, another great scene in this film.
Yeah.
Kenji gets on the yacht and drifts for a number of days until he is rescued. So the final scene is we see Kenji back in the mental hospital where he's telling the story of what actually happened. And one of the first things he said, I wish I'd ate the mushrooms just so I could be with Akiri. The weird thing is we find out he actually did.
He did eat the mushrooms.
I hardly remember when I was rescued. However, I'm sorry now that I was. If I was really in love with her, I should have eaten the mushrooms with her and become one. At least we would have been together. But I came back, only to be condemned as insane.
I like he's behind like a glass thing with all these people watching him. It was like those science movies where like a man's been frozen in ice, and then they yeah.
Scores, reports, thoughts.
Scores, reports, and thoughts.
And a mushroom recipe for the likes.
Yeah. Scores. Yeah. I'll say. Like as an overall movie, it's one of the better ones. It's sort of like not your overall Tubi-rific movie. It's actually quite an interesting film. So yeah, and very well made, quite well acted. And yeah, the dubbing's pretty good. The special effects are good for the time. So I'd give it 3.5. And for a Tubi thing, yeah, because it's not like Tubi-rific or anything. So it's not like that. It doesn't have a lot of as much fodder as like some of the other ones we'd watch. So I'd probably give it 3.5. But yeah, just quickly too, like some of the ads I got on Tubi were great. Daniel Craig dancing, vodka ad. Like if you don't do anything in life, just watch Daniel Craig dancing. You'll feel better. You'll feel better about yourself. Yeah, very akin to Christopher Walken in Fatboy Slim video. So weapon of mass. Yeah,
it's weapon of choice.
Weapon of choice. Yes, weapon of choice.
Don't mention weapon of mass destruction while we've been doing this podcast.
No, I mean, although that is also a Robin Williams special. I could kind of just put it that way. Yeah.
I give it a score of 3. but I'm pretty sure if I get that DVD that I so want, I reckon I'll be scoring it a 4. So that's how good I think the Japanese original is going to be. Tubi wise, yeah, like you, I had enough stuff in it, like with having mushroom people to start off with. But this was a quality film, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So for Tubi wise, I'm going to give it a 3 as well. So it's 3 and 3, and you gave it 3.5, 3.5. It's all
Yeah.
pretty good.
Pretty good.
Okay. All right, it's that time to get quizzical. Let's get quizzical.
Let's get
Quizzical.
quizzical.
I
I
want to
wanna
get quizzical.
Let's get quizzical.
Quizzical. Let me hear your quizzies talk.
Talk. Yeah. I was actually twerking, but it's hard when you're actually already sitting down.
Oh my god. Talking about Godzilla. Which
Great
Godzilla?
segue.
What's that?
Great segue.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm the king of the segue. And I'm not
Seamless
talking
transition.
I'm not talking about one of those things you ride and fall off.
Yeah.
Which Godzilla film did Ishiro Honda direct? I think you're going to be good at this one because
right.
you talked about it earlier on, and you know that he directed a lot of them. So I
Yep.
think you're going to be pretty good. It's a bit of a Russian roulette of Godzilla films to see what he directed and what he didn't direct.
Yeah.
So we do know he directed Godzilla from 1954. So I'm not going to do that one. But I'm going to do them pretty much in order straight after. A quiz that I'd like to call, is it Godzilla or is it Robzilla? Doesn't make sense. I just wanted to do that Robzilla name. When I was in
Robzilla.
the NWO in WCW, they used to call me Robzilla.
Yeah. Robzilla.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. No, that does sound like, if we create a restaurant, W2K22, you can have be Robzilla.
Alrighty. All you got to tell me is, did Honda direct this film or did somebody else? All right, we're going to start off with the next film from 1955 called Godzilla Raids Again. I'm using the English titles, remember? So they might sound goofy in English. They got much better sounding titles in Japan. So Godzilla Raids Again in 1955. Did Honda direct this or did he not?
I'm gonna say no.
What? Straight up? I'll
Yeah.
give you one more chance to
Yes.
redo.
Okay. Okay. He did. I meant to say yes. Sorry.
Incorrect. He didn't.
Oh, you, you dick. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Motoyoshi Oda directed Godzilla Raids Again in 1955.
See, I knew that. I was going to say that.
You even knew the director, so I don't even know why you changed your mind.
Nah.
The next one is King Kong versus Godzilla in 1963. So Honda or not Honda?
Honda.
You are correct. This is a director Honda film. The next one is Mothra versus Godzilla in 1964.
Probably
Honda
wrong, but
or not Honda?
probably wrong. I'm going to say it is Honda.
You're going with the Russian roulette theory?
Yeah.
Correct. It is Honda.
Mm.
Ghidorah, the three-headed monster in 1964.
I'm going to go not Honda.
It is Honda.
Okay.
Yep. That's definitely a director Honda film. Okay, the next one is Godzilla, Invasion of the Astro Monster from 1965.
This is the one where one of the people in the cast is in, right?
Yeah.
From this one. Okay. Yeah. We're due for a not. So I'm gonna go not Honda.
Well, It is a Honda film.
Oh, I said we're due for one. Why we're not due for one? Okay, fair enough.
We may not be due for any. Okay.
Okay, thank.
No, forget I said that. Ibra Horror of the Deep from 1966. Is this a Godzilla Honda film or not a Godzilla Honda film?
Not Honda. Come on, not Honda, not Honda. Give me not Honda.
Well, I'm afraid to tell you, you're right. It is not a Honda film. It is a Jun Fakadaka. Sorry, no, I didn't mean to laugh at the poor dude's name. I'm not very good at pronouncing things. Richie, Fukuda.
Fukuda.
Yes.
Fukuda.
Fukuda. That sounds right. Sorry
It could be
about that.
Fakadaka.
Sorry about that, Jun Fuduka. Okay, the next film is Son of Godzilla from 1967. Is it Honda? Or not
Honda.
Honda? What was that?
Honda.
It's not Honda. It's Jun Fukudadi. Fukudadi, how you say.
Fukuda. Fukuda.
Destroy All Monsters in 1968. Honda or not Honda?
Honda.
Correct, it is Honda. He came back to do this one in 1968. Okay, the second last one is Godzilla All Monsters Attack, 1969.
Not Honda.
It is Honda.
Oh.
So, yes, and now the very final film of this listing anyway, which is 10, Godzilla versus Hetero in
Hetero. Wow, that's the hetero. Just just first thing is like they're really running out of ideas for monsters. What if Godzilla just versed a straight man, or not even a man, just versed a straight person?
Hedorah.
Hedorah.
Hedorah. Hedorah?
Yeah,
Alrighty.
Hedorah. Yeah.
Yeah, Godzilla versus Hedorah in 1971. Honda or not Honda?
Honda.
Honda, it is not. It is Yoshimitsu Banno. So they're all the first top 10 of Godzilla films. And as you can see, Honda directed most of them.
Isn't Yoshimitsu from Tekken?
There is a Yoshimitsu in Tekken. I don't believe it's the same person. I think they're two different people. It would be cool if one of the Tekken people, whatever you call them, fighters, actually directed one of the Godzilla films. That'd be a lovely story. But to my knowledge, no, different. It's now time to spin the wheel of Chewy Cheese. Chewy Cheese.
Chewy Cheese. Chewy Cheese. The cheese is Chewy. We are back with the spinny of the wheel of Tubi.
Did it go anywhere?
We haven't spun it yet, but we're going to spin it. That's what I'm going to say. It hasn't gone anywhere. I know that. I didn't say we've spun it.
You said we're back. Where are we back from?
I forgot. Yes, we do. Yeah, peek behind the curtain. We record these and save it. But yes. So, yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, when you go to see it, it's all going to be one thing. So anyway, look, we're here. Look.
All right, what do we got on the wheel of cheese genre-wise? Richie Goodacre.
We have action, comedy, drama, horror, martial arts, sci-fi, fantasy, I don't know what that was.
That was just me
Is that
shooting my guns. Boo, 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 as
that,
in.
is that was that a laser or
That's a
something?
laser gun, yeah.
Thriller or Western? That's can't there. Oh yeah, and suggestions from website Canstar Blue 1, suggestions from website Canstar Blue 2, and streamers picks. So, uh, ready and rearing to go. Here we go. Are you ready at home? Yes, I am. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. In three, two, one, spinny.
Oh, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Horror.
All right. Look, yeah. So only got one pick on the wheel, so there's no need for a second spin. There's no need for Osama bin Laden. Uh, uh,
And what's it called?
uh, Bloodbath at the House of Death, which is a very horror title. I mean, you do expect a bloodbath at the House of Death. If it was like the bloodbath at the House of Love, you're like, wow, that's very awkward. I didn't expect that's the opposite thing of what I expect from a House of Love.
Everybody getting a bloodbath in the House of Death.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
bloodbath at the House of Pain, but I don't really expect bloodbath at the House of Pain either. I just expect a lot of jumping around.
Jump, jump. I should stop singing.
Think,
A lot of people have said that already. Robert, stop singing. I should. All right.
yeah.
Bloodbath at the House of Death is a horror comedy. When six scientists arrive at a mysterious manor to investigate an eerie occurrences surrounding a massacre from years earlier, things go a bit haywire. It's directed by Ray Cameron, my Uncle Ray. He always does a great job at films, so I hope you enjoy Uncle Ray's film. It is starring one of the great horror actors of all time, Vincent Price.
Oh shit, cool.
Australia's own Pamela Stevenson, who's also married to Billy Connolly.
Bloody Connolly, yeah.
Has Kenny Everett, one of the great DJs from England for many, many years. Gareth Hunt, which I can't tell you anything about. And
I'm sure you're a lovely guy, Gareth.
Yeah, you
Hunt.
are. I'm gonna find heaps out. You're probably some sort of megastar within the Wombles world or something.
The Wombles world.
The Wombles world. And Don Warrington. So it's going to be a good, interesting film to watch. So
Yeah.
That's going to be much joy for you and me.
Welcome to the House of Death. Da, 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 da.
Plugs and stuff.
Wow, your mic went weird there. Well, cool. Yeah. Look, you can find us on Facebook. Tell them they're streaming. Yeah, you'll find it TELL and all the other letters. Then give us a like. You know what? Share the page if you like. I don't know. All good. And find us on YouTube. You can give us a like there, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we drop an episode. If you want to suggest something for a future episode to be put on the wheel, go to tellthemthey're@gmail.com. And I just, and it definitely knew it was gmail.com, not g.mail.com.au. I definitely knew that.
Confusing people.
And yeah, and then in regards to little old me, you can find me doing a bunch of trivia and stuff doing on Movie Hero Network, doing tournament fights, doing the Sister Search tier ranker, do wrestling trivia on a combat wrestling trivia on Chris Cass's Twitch channel. Got a number contender match coming up soon. Uh, yeah, and I also do trivia and Full Metal trivia and all other leagues. Just you know to find me. I mean, again, start of the year, very quiet on the gig front, but I will sure to update you when when my diary becomes full. Yes, I have a diary.
And a Facebook page. So
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, the Facebook page, and so yeah,
Can
all
I
good.
can I just talk to the audience for a second, Richie, please?
Okay, all right. I'll just
No, you
yeah.
stay here too. You're involved. Um,
Okay.
I got three trailers. I've got the American trailer of Attack of the Mushroom People. I've got the Japanese version of that trailer, except it's called its Japanese name. And I've also got Godzilla, but it's the Japanese version as well. So, which two do you want to hear? Sorry, which two do you want to see? Yell them out now. Oh, come on, we're going to
Uh,
play
uh,
something. All
no,
right, thank you. All right, cool. We'll put them up after the show. Richie, what's on your shirt?
oh look. I mean, I know.
What wrestler is on your
I
shirt?
I know I usually go wrestling related, but I was like, look, maybe to give it change of pace, I'll wear this shirt, which is look, it's a Dalek trying to get up a flight of stairs and he can't because he's a Dalek.
That's sad.
Yeah, and yeah, then he's sort of swearing at
Daleks have got
Dalek.
feelings too, mate.
No, so yeah, and look, Dalek isn't really known for their contribution to wrestling, but look, I imagine it'd be kind of cool if someone rode one to the ring, a la like Shotzi Blackheart with a tank. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, I'm trying. Until next time, will be continued. Do we get to exterminate? I don't know. I'm not really doing an impression.
Seven young people shipwrecked on a mysterious island. The island was deserted. Not even birds or animals dared to come here. What did they find?
Hey! Hey!
Seaweed, fish, and turtles' eggs. Anything we can eat, as well as snakes and lizards.
Just let me finish. There's a lot of grass growing around here. You can eat the roots. You can eat the roots of a lot of plants here. You never thought of that, did you?
They were driven to the edge of starvation. Food was scarce, and they were forbidden to eat the mushrooms that grew on the island. Fear and hunger turned them against each other.
I'll kill you.
Matango will help me live.
I haven't been hungry since I left the ship.
Mamie. Oh, help me. Help me.
Please. Can't we eat the mushrooms now?
That would really be the end of us.
Akiko!
Look out! Oh, look out!
Matango, the horrible mushrooms. Matango, the vegetable monster. Can they escape the dreaded Matango? You'll find out when you see Matango!
南太平洋の謎の島、鳥も獣も生息できない無人島に漂着した7人の若者たちが見たものは何か。
魚、海藻、ウミガメの卵、ヘビでもトカゲでも食えそうなものは何でも集めるんだ。
今日は言わしてもらうぜ。草を見たら一本一本引っこ抜いてその根をしゃぶってみる。新芽を見たらこれも口入れて噛んでみる。これが食料探しだろ。
脱出するか脱出するか、大自然と孤独の中で食料と水を求めて生々しい人間の生きる欲望と執念、完治と裏切り。
食べ物に不自由してるように見えて。
アメリ助けてくれ、お願いだ。
ねえ、あのキノコ食べられるんでしょ。
あれを食べたらおしまいだよ。
愛子さん、
危ない。あ、危ないよ。
人類の恐怖マタンゴ、放射能が生んだ巨大な残虐無残な吸血マタンゴ、マタンゴにご期待ください。